This mirror doesn't just show me my reflection. It shows me a 360-degree view of my health. I was tired of guessing. Was I actually sleeping well? Were my workouts making a difference? My health data was scattered across a dozen different apps, and honestly, I had no real idea what was going on 24/7. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. You've got an app for your workouts, another for your sleep, one for your heart rate, and maybe a separate one for nutrition. Each one gives you this tiny, isolated piece of the puzzle, but you never get the full picture. It's frustrating. So, I decided to build the ultimate solution, a smart mirror that tracks my health. The vision was a mirror that looked and acted like a normal mirror, but could wake up to display a personalized health dashboard. It needed to be smart enough to know I was there, and powerful enough to do some pretty cool stuff. You could go buy a new, slim monitor, but I'm a big fan of recycling. I'm using a Raspberry Pi 5. It's a tiny, shockingly powerful computer that's more than capable of running the mirror software. Its massive community and library of open-source projects make it a no-brainer. First, a simple peer motion sensor. This lets the mirror turn on automatically when I approach it and go to sleep when I leave, which saves a ton of power. The first job was the frame. I measured the exact dimensions of my monitor and mirror and cut the pine boards to size. In its chunky plastic case, it was way too bulky. So, the teardown began. This part can feel a little nerve-wracking, carefully prying open the plastic bezel and unscrewing the internal parts. The goal is to free the raw LCD panel and its control board. This instantly sheds inches of thickness and is the secret to making the mirror look sleek, not like a TV strapped to a wall. You know the saying, measure twice, cut once. This is where it all comes together. The first layer is the two-way mirror, sitting flushed against the front of the frame. I 3D printed some small brackets to hold the Raspberry Pi, the monitor's power supply, and all the wiring neatly on the back panel, and a slightly larger one at the bottom for the peer motion sensor. After about half an hour of typing commands into the terminal, the moment of truth arrived. This meant diving into the world of third-party modules. The beauty of Magic Mirror Squared is its community, which has built modules for almost anything you can think of. I found modules to integrate with my smart scale and fitness tracker, which let the mirror pull in my weight trends and sleep quality data. I ran the start command, and for the first time, white text glowed through the glass. I found a set of experimental modules that use computer vision and AI to perform non-contact health monitoring. The technique is called remote photoplethysmography, or RPPG. The face tracking algorithm locked on. A few seconds passed, and then, a number appeared next to a heart icon. My real-time heart rate, measured just by looking at my reflection. At the bottom, a scrolling news feed keeps me up to date. My sleep score from last night is right there, telling me how much deep sleep I got. My weight trend from my smart scale is plotted on a simple graph. It's the consolidated dashboard I always wanted. This DIY version brings the same spirit of integrated health seen in conceptual commercial products, like the Withens Omnia mirror shown at CES 2025, right into my home. It's not just a passive display, it's an interactive health companion. Within seconds, it displays my resting heart rate, captured right through the camera. I went from a cluttered mess of apps and a fuzzy sense of my own health to this, a single, intelligent mirror that gives me a clear, comprehensive picture every single day. This project was more than just building a cool gadget. It was about taking control of my personal data and creating a tool that gives me real, tangible benefits. It has completely changed my morning routine, replacing guesswork with actual knowledge. Now, while the tech for reliably tracking things, like heart rate variability or blood pressure purely from a camera, is still very experimental for a DIY setup, some studies show it's possible and improving. The mirror wasn't just showing me data I'd already logged, it was generating new, vital information all on its own, and detects the tiny, invisible changes in skin color that happen every time your heart beats and pumps blood. Smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more tech challenges, future experiments, and real talk from TechWave65. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments, if you had a smart health mirror, what's the #1 thing you would want it to track? The hardware is done, but the soul of this project is still missing. If you're enjoying this build and want to see how we bring it to life with software, now's the perfect time to subscribe for more projects like this one. It looked like a mirror, but for now, it was just a dark, lifeless piece of glass. Good cable management isn't just for looks. It helps with airflow and makes any future repairs way easier. I routed all the cables to a single power strip inside the frame, so only one cord leaves the mirror. As I walk into the room, the PIR sensor spots me, and the screen instantly wakes up, transforming from a plain mirror into a glowing dashboard. To stop any light from bleeding around the edges, I made a black matte board border that sits between the mirror and the screen. I definitely recommend that. But don't get discouraged if you have to make a few tweaks. Getting the frame perfectly square and sturdy is the foundation for the whole build. This camera isn't for selfies. It's going to be the primary sensor for tracking some of my health metrics. This is where the Raspberry Pi and the Magic Mirror Squared platform come in. Magic Mirror Squared is an incredible open modular platform that lets you customize your mirror with modules for things like weather, news, calendars, you name it. Specifically, it's perfect for the open source Magic Mirror Squared platform, which is the software that's going to bring this whole thing to life. It's a perfect size, and using an IPS display is key. You get great viewing angles, which is a must for a mirror. Nothing fancy, just a clean box that would securely house the monitor, the mirror, and all the electronics. Numbers. They had no context, and more importantly, they weren't part of my environment. It's a piece of glass or acrylic that's partially reflective and partially transparent. I went with a glass panel. Acrylic is a bit cheaper, but glass gives you way better clarity and doesn't scratch as this. If you're building something to last, go with glass. I wanted my health data to be ambient, something I could see at a glance without having to unlock a screen. Let's be honest, trying to keep track of your health these days is chaotic. A single, elegant display that pulls everything together, turning scattered data into something I can actually use. The goal became crystal clear. Build a central hub for my health. A smart mirror, but not just any smart mirror, that shows the weather. I wanted a mirror that could actively monitor my key vitals and give me a real-time snapshot of my weather. My phone was a disaster. My morning ritual involved opening 3 different apps just to figure out how ready I was to face the day. That's when the idea hit me. What if the first thing I look at every morning could give me all the answers I need? Before I even thought about cutting a single piece of wood, I needed a plan. Choosing the components was critical. Every part had a purpose. For the brains of the operation, there was only one choice: a Raspberry Pi. Section 2. The build. Assembling the hardware. With the layers in place, it was time to mount the electronics. The final hardware step was integrating the sensors. I drilled a tiny, discrete hole at the top of the frame for the camera lens. Section 3. The magic moment. Software and data. Getting it up and running is surprisingly simple. I installed the Raspberry Pi OS and then followed the guide to get the Magic Mirror Squared framework installed. But this is where my project took a turn. I wasn't here for the news, I was here for health data. Section 4. The reveal and the full showcase. The layout is clean and simple. On the left are the essentials, time, date, and a detailed weather forecast. This is the future of personal health, and I built it right here in my workshop.